The second heuristic given by Nielsen is match between system and the real world. This heuristic states that the system should speak the user's language with words, phrases, and concepts familiar to the user, rather than system-oriented terms. Follow real-world conventions, making information appear in a natural and logical order. Systems that adhere to real-world conventions and make information appear in a natural order provide a better experience to their users. This is because familiarity brings comfort to us humans. For example, when you use your own washroom versus when you use the washroom of a friend or a relative, you feel more comfortable in the first scenario as you are familiar with the setup. Similarly, users feel more comfortable using a system that they are somehow familiar with. The biggest mistake that we UX designers make is considering ourselves as the end users of the product. Because when this happens, we start designing for ourselves. And when we design for ourselves, we start using our own interpretations and understanding of objects and words to create the system, which may or may not match with the end user's expectations. When actual end users visit these sites and apps and are unable to understand the words and terms used there, they feel confused and therefore they try to find an alternative or an external help to get their task done. Therefore, it is very critical that the system speaks the language of the users and matches the real-world conventions. As we are discussing the real-world conventions, therefore, our discussion would be incomplete if we don't talk about skeuomorphic design. Skeuomorphic design in its essence refers to a design or an interaction that resembles one from the physical world. This screenshot, taken from iBooks application, is a good example of skeuomorphic design. This application is used to display books that are available in the system. This concept is similar to a library bookshelf in the physical world. The biggest advantage of skeuomorphic design is its ease of use, as users can use these products and interfaces based on their past experience and existing knowledge. And therefore, there is no or very minimal training required for users to use such interfaces. Here is another example of skeuomorphic design. This is a snapshot of an old web application, Winamp, which used to be one of the most famous music player apps some years ago. In this image, you can clearly see that the buttons of this music player app resemble the buttons of a real music player. This is a classic example of skeuomorphic design. Another good example for this could be the desktop calculator app. The interface of the calculator app is inspired from the physical calculator. Although the design is flat and minimalistic, the calculator user interface works just like the real one. Familiar interactions and elements on the calculator interface makes it easier for the users to use it without the need of any training. By now, you must have understood why this heuristic is crucial in order to create a better experience for your users. Therefore, while designing any system, try to use familiar or natural interactions, implement concepts that your users have been exposed to previously, and last but not the least, avoid technical terms and jargons unless your end users are familiar with them. Prefer using simple words to have a better and effective communication.